Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be going through the basic settings to get you started on your Fitbit Inspire 3. Now I'm not going to cover everything, I'm going to try and cover as much as I can, but I'm going to keep it as basic as possible. I understand a lot of you out there might not want to see everything, so I will put chapters in the video so you can just jump to a specific topic. I also want to mention that what you're going to be seeing here is the Fitbit watch face and the features as delivered from Fitbit. They are customizable, so let's start with that. I'm going to turn on my display. You'll notice down here there's a little icon showing. I can click on it and it's changing. So there's my steps, there's my heart rate. You can customize or you can change your display by simply tapping on the screen. But aside from that, you can also download additional watch faces and you can edit this device, but you have to go to the app. So let me give you a look at the app real quick. I'm in the Fitbit app. You can click on gallery and this is where you can go and you can customize your watch face, you can customize the way it looks, and then you can go into your apps and you can pick and choose different apps. I should also mention these are some of the different watch faces that you've got. So that's your basic functions, but for this video you're going to be seeing the delivered watch face and apps on the device. Let's quickly talk about navigating the watch. So clicking is going to be to select. So for example, my watch face, if I tap it, it's changing my values. I can also swipe down from the watch face. That basically takes you to your quick settings and eventually all the way down to your settings. I can also swipe up. Again, on anything that I'm interested in, I would want to tap the screen. I can swipe to the left or the right, and that will take me to my various different apps. And these apps are customizable. Again, if I wanted to do something, I would click on it. So pretty simple stuff, basic touchscreen functionality. If you're using the side buttons, you can press the two side buttons. That'll always take you back to your home screen. So as delivered, you have a few different ways to turn on your display. One of them is going to be what's called the auto wake feature or wrist tilt. You tilt your wrist towards you, turns on your display. The other thing is you can tap the screen. That will turn on your display. And then the other option is going to be pressing the two side buttons. You have two basically built-in buttons. Press the side, it'll turn it on. You can turn off certain ones. So for example, the two buttons on the side, you can turn that off if you don't like it. If you don't like the wrist tilt, you can turn that off. You can also turn on an always on display, but that's just your basic options for turning on your display. If you're somebody that wants an always on display, basically to treat it like a watch function so that you've always got the time and date, I'm going to show you where to go to that. We're going to simply swipe all the way down to our settings, and then you have display settings, and we're going to swipe up. It's the last option under display settings, always on. You'll notice it says impacts battery. When you turn this on, because your screen is always on, obviously you would have to charge the device more often. You can simply toggle it on. The first time you do this, you're going to get a warning telling you about the fact that it's going to impact your battery life. You'll also notice at the bottom here, there's an option for off hours. Now, I've got a sleep schedule set. If you have a sleep schedule set, whenever you get into your sleep schedule, the always on display will turn off. If you don't have a sleep schedule set, you can actually go into the off hours and you can set specific times that you do not want the always on display available, or basically to work. So in my case, I can't do that. It's grayed out for me because I have a sleep schedule. If you're somebody who doesn't track your sleeps, you can actually change this interval, but that's how you do it. Let me go ahead and turn off my screen. You'll notice it is going to time out, so we can see my display here is going to change, but that's what my always on screen looks like. And then just like any other time you're using the device, when you tap it, that'll actually reactivate the full functions of the watch, turn off that always on display. By default, when you get your Inspire 3, it has the wrist tilt or auto wake feature turned on. So if I tilt my wrist towards me, my screen turns on automatically. A lot of people like that. Some people like to turn it off to try and preserve battery life. I'm going to show you how you can do that. It's actually a couple of different ways. It's one of your quick access options. So I just simply swipe down. The very first thing I see is auto wake. I could turn it off. It gives you a warning. It says, hey, this is what's going to happen when you turn it off. The other way we could have adjusted this setting is you can go all the way down to settings, display settings, and then under display settings you also have auto wake. So I've got it turned off. I'm going to show you what happens now that it's turned off, and then we will go and adjust it back. So now my screen is off, tilt my wrist towards me, nothing's happening. If I want to turn it on, I either have to use the buttons, assuming I've got those turned on, or I have to tap the screen. So I'm going to go back to the settings, and we'll adjust it this time through the settings instead of the quick access setting. Again, auto wake, turn it back on, and now whenever it times out, the feature will be back enabled. So unlike the Inspire 2, the screen display brightness is really good on the Fitbit Inspire 3, and you actually have some different ways you can adjust that. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's simply turn on my tracker. We're going to swipe all the way down. We need to go to settings. We're going to click on settings, and then the first option you're going to see is display settings. You can click on that, and then your first option is going to be brightness. Mine is currently set to dim. If you click it, it'll switch you to normal. Again, it'll switch you to max. And then again, back to dim. I'll be honest, I keep mine on dim because it saves a little bit of battery life, and I can see perfectly fine with dim. Again, so much better than the Inspire 2, but that's how you change your brightness. Assuming you don't have your Fitbit set to always on, you are going to have to deal with a screen timeout. So you'll notice I turned on my screen, and then after a couple seconds, it turns off. What if you want to adjust that timeout duration? That's what we're going to be looking at next. Again, we're going to turn on our device. We're going to swipe all the way down to settings. We're going to go under display settings, and then we're going to swipe up a little bit. You're going to see an option that says screen timeout. It's going to be set to the default when you get it. You can click on it. You're going to get this warning that says, hey, the more that your screen is on, the more battery life it's going to use. You simply click got it, and it's toggled my display to medium. I can click it again, and it's kind of annoying. You get this message again saying, hey, it's going to increase your battery charge amount. Now I've got it set to long. So you're going to basically keep doing that. When I go from long to default, it won't give me that message. But anytime you go from default to something else, you're going to see this annoying message. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and we'll look and see what the timeout looks like now. You can see it's much longer than what we started with. To put your Fitbit Inspire into Do Not Disturb mode, you actually have a couple different options. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. When I swipe down, these are what's called your quick access menus, and Do Not Disturb is actually one of the options in your quick access. You can simply just swipe down, turn it on, or turn it off. There's also another way you can get to that. If you go all the way down, just like we looked at before, to settings. Under settings, you go up, you've got an option called quiet modes, and when you go into quiet modes, you'll also see the option for Do Not Disturb. You can turn it on there as well. So the next thing we're going to look at is the water lock feature, and this is a feature you would use if you're getting in the shower or if you're going swimming. It'll basically keep water out of your device. If you do a swimming activity, it will automatically turn on the water lock feature, and I'll say if you're somebody who uses this feature a lot, this might not be the best device for you. At least mine, it's really hard to do. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the screen. I'm going to swipe down. It's one of your quick access options. It's kind of near the very top. You've got settings, and then right underneath it, you've got water lock, and it says turn on. When you click on that, it says to lock, firmly double tap. And I always have trouble with this. So I am firmly double tapping, and you can see it's not doing anything, but I finally got it locked. So it's just not as responsive as I would like. You will notice that when you turn on your screen, or if you get a notification, you will still get notifications. You just can't interact with anything unless you unlock it. You'll see this little indicator here showing that your screen has water lock on. When you want to unlock it, you're going to do the exact same thing we did. You're going to firmly double tap your screen. And again, for me, it's pretty hard to do this. So I'm going to firmly double tap, and you'll see nothing is happening. It says to unlock, firmly double tap. Finally, I got it unlocked. So that's how it works. Not too bad. It's just kind of clunky compared to other devices I've used. Like most smart devices, the Fitbit Inspire 3 has a Find My Phone feature. It's really simple to use. We're simply going to turn on our display, and then we're going to swipe down. Again, it's one of the options that's in your quick access. You'll see an option that says Find Phone. Simply click on it, and then this screen is going to come up, and you have to click on it again when you actually want to find it. And you can see my phone is now going off. When I'm done, I can simply click cancel, and that's how you use the Find My Phone feature. Like most smartwatches, assuming you're not in do not disturb mode and assuming you've got your phone connected, you can answer or decline phone calls on the device. Now, you wouldn't be able to talk, but you would be able to answer it and then grab your cell phone and carry on the conversation. To show you what it looks like, it is vibrating on my wrist. I can swipe down or up depending on if I want to answer the call or if I want to dismiss the call. The next thing we're going to talk about is cell phone notifications on your Inspire 3. They really did a good job on this. You can turn off all notifications completely, or they made it easy for you to pick and choose which notifications from your cell phone do you get on your device. So first, let's do this. I'm going to send myself a text message so you can see what it looks like when you get a notification. And you can see, in my case, it says, don't forget to hit that, and then it's ... I can tap to see more. Don't forget to hit that like button, and then I can go to the very bottom and I can either clear the notification or I can leave it. I'm simply going to click clear. I have no more notifications. If I would have missed that, I could have swiped over to my notifications app and reviewed the notification in the app. What if you want to control the notifications? In order to do that, we're not going to be on our device. We need to go to our cell phone. Now, I'm in the Fitbit app. Let's zoom out a little bit. When you're in the app, you're going to simply click on the top left corner. That's your device information. Takes you into your devices, and then we're going to simply click on Inspire 3. And then once we get in here, you're going to see a section that says notifications. When you click on that, you have a high level setting. Do you want call notifications, text notifications, or calendar notifications? You can pick and choose the ones you want. But then you also have this section that is app notifications. I should mention I'm an Apple user, so this is what it looks like from an Apple view. When I go into the app notifications, I can pick and choose which apps from my cell phone am I going to get notifications for. So your Inspire 3 does vibrate. You can't really turn off the vibrations. If you go into do not disturb mode, that will turn off your vibrations for your smartphone notifications, but you'll still get vibrations for other things. However, you can adjust the strength of the vibration. I'm going to show you that. We're going to simply turn on our tracker. We're going to swipe all the way down because we need to go to settings. And under settings, you're going to swipe pretty much to the bottom. Second to the bottom is going to be an option. Oh, I'm sorry, third from the bottom is going to be an option for vibrations. You've got either normal or strong. And each time you click it, you'll feel a change. I'll say this, there's not a huge difference between normal and strong, but if you wanted to go check it out, see which vibration you like better, that's how you get to that setting. If you want to check the Inspire 3's battery level, you have two different options. You can go on your cell phone and look on the app. You will see it next to your device. It's a little bit easier to see on the app, but you can also see it on the tracker itself. Simply going to turn on the screen. When your screen is on, if you simply swipe up once, you will see your battery level up here in the top. It'll change colors depending on how high or low the battery is. So for example, once it gets below 20%, I think it turns orange, and then once it gets below 8%, it turns red, starts flashing. I have to say the battery level on this thing is great. I get 8 to 10 days easy, and that's with doing exercises every day, activities. I keep the wrist tilt on. I've got 24-hour heart rate tracking on. Really good battery life. So the next thing we're going to talk about is sleep mode. This device has two different ways you can go into sleep mode. You can either manually turn on sleep mode, or you can set a schedule so that every day the device goes into sleep mode at certain times. During sleep mode is going to be when it will track your sleep, but there's also some other things. Your notifications, goal celebrations, reminders all get silenced, and your tilt to wrist or tilt to view screen gets disabled as well. So it's essentially just like being in do not disturb. You also cannot go into do not disturb while you're in sleep mode. I'm going to show you how to do it. As with most things on this device, you could also do this on the app. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go down to settings. We're going to click on settings. The second thing under settings is quiet modes. We're going to simply click on quiet modes, and then you've got do not disturb, but you're going to go to sleep mode. When you click on that, if you simply want to turn it on, you can turn on sleep mode, or you can turn it off. But if you go up, you will see an option for schedule, and then you can turn off your schedule or turn it on. And if you need to edit your schedule, you'll go down to interval and you can edit your schedule. I actually need to edit mine, so I've got it starting at 10 p.m. and I'm going to adjust the end time, and I'm simply just clicking using the touch screen. And there we go. Your Fitbit Inspire 3 will continuously track different information about your activity and your wellness. And if you want to see that information, you can see it either on the device or you can see more information by going into the Fitbit app. I'm going to show you real quick just how to view it from the device. All I'm going to do is now look, if I tap the screen, I can see some of this information just by changing my data field. If I swipe up though, I can see the date, my step information, how far have I traveled. I believe this one that I've got 0 for is my hourly activity or intensity minutes, my calories burned. There's my hourly activity. I think this is intensity minutes. My heart rate tracking, my sleep information, sleep score, SpO2 level, exercises. But that's how you can see kind of the basic snapshot of your health and wellness activity. Again, from your main screen, just swipe up to get to that information. The Fitbit Inspire 3 has 24-hour heart rate tracking, but you can turn off heart rate tracking completely if you want to. It's very simple. We're going to turn on the device. Again, we're going to go all the way down to our settings. Under settings, you're going to swipe up until you see heart rate. Simply toggle it off or toggle it on depending on your preference. So if you have heart rate tracking turned on, it will record what are called active zone minutes, which is basically how many minutes are you spending being active, and you get points towards that. And you can also get notifications for it on your device. I'm going to show you where the notification setting is. We're going to simply turn on the screen and go all the way down to settings. Again, once we're in settings, we're going to swipe up, and it's just under heart rate. It's AZM notifications. You simply turn it off or turn it on. I mentioned before that you have a couple different ways to turn on your display. You can either tap the screen or you can press the buttons on the side to wake the device. This is actually a feature you can disable if you want to. It won't disable the buttons, but it will disable them from being able to wake or turn on your display. So let's go ahead and let's do that. You saw that it just worked. I'm going to go all the way down to settings, and then under settings, we're going to swipe up almost to the bottom. You're going to see an option that says button lock. Simply turn it on. It says, do you want to prevent the buttons from waking the screen? And you can turn it off or you can turn it on or dismiss. I'm going to press the buttons. You'll notice it still took me back to my home page, so my buttons are working. But now when my screen times out and I try and use the side buttons, it will no longer turn on the display. If I want to turn it on now, I have to tap. The Inspire 3 has up to 8 different alarms that you can set. They are all silent alarms. No alarm will make a beeping noise. They're all going to vibrate. And there's really no way to change that other than to adjust your vibration settings. So let's go in, let's look at it. It's pretty basic. I'm going to simply swipe over from the main screen. I can go to the left or I can go to the right, whichever way you want to go. It doesn't matter. You're just simply looking for alarms. When you go to it, at first it's going to say add because you don't have any alarms that are set. All we're going to do is we're going to click on it. The first thing that's going to come up is our hour value. You can move up, you can move down, find the hour that you want. Once you've got it, simply tap on the screen. Next thing is going to be your minutes, and again, you can move up or down. I actually need to set mine. Tap on the screen. Last thing will be, is it AM or PM? Now you've successfully set an alarm. Once you've got an alarm set, you can get into the settings of that alarm. So you'll notice I can simply turn off the alarm or turn on the alarm. If I do that, it's going to be a manual alarm, which means when it goes off next, after that, I would have to go back in and turn it on. I also have the option to repeat the alarm. If I click on that, it's going to bring up another window and it asks me, do I want to repeat it once? And if so, how often? I can pick and choose the days of the week that I want the alarm to go off. So maybe you just want a weekend alarm or just during the week or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can totally set it whichever way you want. You'll also notice at the top here, there was an option for every day. So if you choose that, it'll just highlight all of them for you. So that's how you do your repeat. I can go back. Smart Wake. The way Smart Wake works is if you turn this on, your Fitbit can actually wake you up anywhere between your alarm time and 30 minutes before your alarm time. What's kind of cool with it is it looks at your sleeping, and if you're not in a deep sleep or if it finds an ideal time to wake you up, that's when it wakes you up. If it sees you're in a deep sleep, It won't wake you up, and it'll wait until your alarm time. So it's basically just a way to let the watch kind of pick and choose a time near your alarm time that's ideal to wake you up. If you want to turn that on, simply toggle it on, and it kind of lets you know what it's going to do. So now we've got an alarm set. What if you want to set another alarm? All you're going to do is swipe up, go to new alarm, and you're going to build another one the exact same way we just did. So now I've got a second alarm, and again, I could go through all of the settings of that second alarm. You want to see all your alarms? Just go back to your regular widget view, and there's my 6:45 a.m. alarm, and there's my 4:06 p.m. alarm. If you need to delete an alarm, simply click on the given alarm, swipe all the way up, remove. It's going to ask, do you really want to do it? Yes. Here's my next one. Click on it, swipe all the way up, remove. If you want to set a countdown timer, it's really easy. You can do anywhere from 1 second up to 59 minutes and 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Let's go ahead. We're going to turn on our screen. I simply swipe to the left. It doesn't matter if you go left or right. What you're looking for is timer. Once you get to it, it says click to add. You can basically, it's kind of like doing our alarms. You basically set whatever minute value you want. I'm going to set mine at 0 because I'm going to let you see what it looks like when it's done. And then you can set whatever second value you want. Once you've got it set, simply press start. It is a silent timer, so there's no way to make any noises. But it's vibrating on my wrist right now, and it's telling me that my time is up. You can simply swipe up. You can always go back if you want to restart it. If I wanted to change my value, all I would do is go up, click edit, and it takes me back into that editor, and we can set it to whatever value we want. The one thing I don't like is, so we've got it, I don't need to use the countdown timer, I'm going to get out of here, I'm going to swipe. When you go back to it, it doesn't remember the last setting that you had, so you always have to reset your timer value. So that's the one thing that I wish they would have changed on it. It's not really that hard to do, but it would have been nice to say, hey, the last time I used it, it was a 3-minute and 3-second timer. That's what I want it to be this next time. But nonetheless, that's how you use the countdown timer feature. To use the stopwatch feature, it's a little tricky, at least until you've done it once. It's kind of hidden from you. We're going to tap our screen, and we're going to swipe either left or right. You're going to basically go like you're going to go to the countdown timer, and it's actually under the timer. I was on timer, I simply swiped up, and there's my stopwatch. No frills, click on it, you can start it, you can pause, you can resume, and then while it's stopped, if you wanted to reset it, you can swipe up and reset it. The one thing that's silly about it is you have to stay in this mode in order to use the stopwatch. So you'll notice it's running for me. Well, I can swipe back and I can get to my timer screen, but once I go in my menu and I go back to it, my stopwatch is automatically stopped. So if you're going to use the stopwatch feature, you have to stay in the stopwatch mode. Let's take a quick look at how do we do a workout on the Inspire 3. I'll say this, they don't have a wide range of different sports you can pick from. You can go to the app and download additional ones. I will try and put a screenshot here of all the ones that are currently available as of April 2025. It comes with 5 workouts delivered on the device. You can edit those and remove them if you want to. So I'm going to show you what we have. We have walk. All I did is I swiped over and we're looking for the exercise app. Walk, run, bike, workout, treadmill. Those are all of them. And then I went to the app and I pulled in tennis. So you can customize this any way you want to. I'm just going to show you the basics of doing a workout. So you're ready to go do a workout. You pick the sport. We're simply going to tap on it. Now I can simply click start if I wanted to, but I can swipe up and I've got some exercise options. For example, do I want to set a goal? Do I want heart rate zones on? Do I want GPS tracking on? Do I want always on display so that my display will always be on during the workout? You can choose any value you want, set it the way you want, and when you're ready to start the workout, simply start your workout. While it's on, you can tap the screen just like on your main screen, and you can see some different field values while you're in your workout. And that's pretty simple. Once you get done, simply swipe up. You can pause your workout. When it's paused, you can either return, or you can finish, or you can just swipe up and look at some information. Maybe you're deciding if you want to keep going or not. So I'm going to simply click return just so you can see. And then again, when we're really done, we'll pause it and we'll click finish. There is also a relax app on this device that you can take some time and do some breathing exercises, relax a little bit. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it can be rather lengthy, but maybe I'll start one and then I'll speed up through it just so you can see what it looks like. Again, we're going to turn on our display, we're going to swipe, and we're going to go to the relax app. Simply going to click on it, and it basically gives you some information, find a calm place, get ready to do some breathing. Before I go in and start it, I can swipe up and I can customize it. I think the default is 2 minutes and it will always reset the default, but you can adjust how long of a breathing exercise do you want to do. I'm just going to do 1 minute. Simply going to press start, and this is where I will speed up the screen so you can see, but basically I'm going to sit here and relax and do some breathing. And there we go. I just finished my 1 minute breathing exercise, and then you can see it gives you some stats. My alignment was medium compared to my set. I can see what my heart rate was, my mindfulness was. So there's some different analytics you can look at. And then when you're done, simply click done. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the worn on wrist versus clipped on body setting. The great thing about these trackers is if you want to wear it on your wrist, you wear it like a regular watch. If you want to put it on a real watch, a non-smartwatch or a different watch, and you want to put this on your body, either clip it on your body or I always just throw it in my pocket, you can do that, but there is a setting on here that you would need to switch. So first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and look at the setting, and then I will show you how to take the strap off. It's really easy. While the screen's on, we're simply going to swipe down, and you've got a setting in here that says worn on wrist. You can simply click on it. It says, do you want to clip it on your body instead? And it lets you know that things like heart rate monitoring, sleep tracking, all of that stuff will be turned off. Simply click yes, and now it says it can be clipped on the body. So now all we need to do is take our strap off. Actually, let me show you. Let's just assume you've clipped it on your body and you want to put it back on your wrist. If you wanted to put it back on, you're going to go right back to that same setting. But this time, for clipped on body, you'll click it and it says, do you want to wear it on your wrist instead? All features will be available, and you simply click yes. So really simple. That's your setting. If you want to take the strap off, it's a quick release strap. So you've got these little pins here. You're just going to simply pull the pin, I always say, to the part of the strap that has the most room. It's pretty easy. I'm going to use my fingernail. Fingernails do help with this. I'm going to simply slide that pin down and the strap pops out. Turn it over. I'm right-handed, so that's why I'm turning it over. Same thing. Now you've successfully removed your strap, and again, you can throw the tracker in your pocket. You can buy some cheap little holders that will actually protect the screen. I kind of recommend those if you're wanting to clip it onto your body. When you want to put your strap back on, it's really simple. You're going to basically do the exact same opposite of what we did. You've got this little pin until you feel it clip into place. And then again, you just have this little arm. I simply slide it. Hopefully you can see this okay. Push the pin down, wiggle it, and now you've got it back on the strap, ready to throw it on your wrist. By default, when you get your Fitbit, it's going to be set to be worn on your non-dominant hand. If that's what you're wearing it on, you really don't have to look at this setting, but if you want to switch it and put it on your dominant hand, there is a setting you need to adjust. You can't do it on the tracker, you have to do it in the app. I'm simply going to click on the Fitbit app. Hopefully you can see this okay. I'll click on my device up here in the top left corner, and then we're going to click on Inspire 3. When you go into it, you're going to see an option that says wrist. Again, default is going to be non-dominant. If you want to switch that, simply click on it, change it to dominant, click back, sync your tracker. The reason you want to do this is if you've got it set to non-dominant and you're wearing it on your dominant hand, it's going to overinflate your step tracking. So I hope you've been finding this video helpful. If you have, thumbs up are always appreciated. It helps get my video out there to other people. The next thing we're going to look at is restarting your device. Now there's two different things here. There's restarting your device and there's erasing all of your data. First, we're going to look at restarting your device. If you're having issues, you want to reset it, or maybe you need to do some updates, this is going to be how we do it. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my screen. We're going to swipe all the way down to settings. We're going to click on settings, and then we're going to swipe all the way up to the very bottom, and you're going to see an option that says restart device. Again, you're not going to lose any data. When you do this, it'll even tell you that when you click it, it says restart device. This will restart your device. No data will be lost. Do you want to restart or do you want to cancel? Simply click restart and it will restart your device for you. Again, shouldn't really need to do this. If you're needing to do an update, when you do a restart and it connects to the Wi-Fi, it'll automatically look for an update for you. Or again, sometimes you're just having issues, maybe it's buggy. That would be why you want to do a restart. Well, wait here for a second, and that's what it looks like. So that was a look at resetting the device, but what if you want to totally wipe it and erase all your data from your Inspire 3? This is normally what you would do prior to selling it to somebody else, just to give it to them clean, doesn't have any of your information on it. We're going to do pretty much the same thing as before. We're going to turn our screen on. We're going to go to the very top settings. This time, instead of going to the very bottom where you have restart device, you're going to go up one and you're going to see an option that says device info. It's kind of cool in here. There's a section in here that says system information. If you click on that, it'll actually show you the date that you activated your Inspire 3, as well as the version of software that you're running. So if you ever need to see, hey, what version software am I running, or how long have I had my device, that's the date that you activated it and connected it to your cell phone. But under device info, I'm going to simply click back. If you go to the very bottom, you're going to see an option that says clear user data. Now, I'm not going to do it on mine. I'm just going to show you how to do it. When you go into it, it says this clears your user data, disconnects you from your device. Any unsynced data will be lost. Do you want to cancel or do you want to do it? If you want to do it, you are going to click and hold. You're going to press this hold button and you're going to keep your finger on it for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you're going to see the Fitbit logo. It's going to start vibrating and it's going to begin erasing your data. And then it will restart just as it is from Fitbit. But that's it. That's pretty much all the settings you can do on the device. There are some additional settings you can do in the Fitbit app, but in terms of things you can do on the device, that's pretty much all of it. Again, if the video helped, thumbs up are appreciated. Enjoy your Fitbit Inspire 3. If you've got any questions I can help with, leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching.